We even have a nap on it. And well, we're back with this chair, and today we're going to be installing it onto an office chair and make it into a proper chair so you can use it at your desk and remind yourself of the 1995 Honda CR-V, which is what it came from. Okay, let's get to it and let's find a way how to mount these weird feet. And so I'm going to trim the wood so it mounts like that, and trim it at the end so it fits in here. Put a screw in on that side and this side, and then this will be nice and flat, as these mounting flanges, these ones, are both level heighted. Mount them like so, and then I should be able to work out, oh, the focus is going funny. And then for this one back here, I should be able to use that as a base and then bar off from there, and then trim the wood around this till it gets to the exact same height, so it will be nice and level between the two. And I cut the wood, as you can see, all to size, all to shape. This one with a bit of an angle at the end, cut out over here with where it sticks out, and on this piece a bit of an angle at the end and this end. Yeah, it sits perfectly flat on here, but I've noticed something. I brought my other chair, which I'm replacing, back home and compared it, and I need to make this lower, so this mounting method will not work. So I'm going to figure something out, but I have an idea what I'm going to do.
And on this side I can actually just remove this bolt up here, and there's one down at the bottom down there.
So instead of having this much wasted space, I can try narrowing it down to that, so I can mount the board directly to here, and it can just use clips and holes just to screw into it on that side and this side. The other issue that I have, if you can tell, is by lowering it down this way, this box, you know, the little tray that goes underneath, would not fit. So as you can see, it's not going to fit at all. So I'm just going to delete it, and I'm going to remove the mounting for it so I can keep it. And with this out the way now, onto this rail, I was looking and figuring out something. So first, my original plan was to remove this entire panel, but I noticed something, which is this bolt here, which is the hinge for the top part. So that hinge is reliant on this metal plate, and I cannot delete because there's nothing inside behind it, so it has to be this. So I have to keep this plate, and what I'm going to have to do is on this side, it's quite not, I need some light but oh, you know, there, can you just about see that? These welded nuts or pushing nuts, wherever they are, these ones, all the way along the length of it, I'm going to have to drill all of them out so I can at least get rid of the rail, which will get to about this height, and then I can mount the piece of wood up here somewhere, press this in, and then it should be nice and flat for a chair, and it will be not much lower, so say about that much instead of that much, which should make it sit better on the office chair.
3 hours later.
I've got the first one out, and it's not much left in it. Most of it's just fine dust. So, and I had to use also a Dremel as well, which is not very good, because cloth plus basically hot molten chunks of metal. I don't want to fire, do I? Well, I do have a fire extinguisher. This fire extinguisher is a little bit too old. Okay, I don't want to fire anytime soon.
Later that same evening.
Yay! And as you see, I cleaned it all up now. I've cleaned the rest of the chair with the vacuum. One because I still have it from before. But as you see as well, I've dinged this in so it's a bit more flat. But I didn't go too far because this part here is actually your seat. So when you sit down, this bends out like that. and then you don't want this to be so close to the part where it's, well, this is curved so that it's nice and comfy, but I've pushed it in a little bit, so I might feel it when I sit down, but it shouldn't be too bad. That's why I've still left a bit of a bow in it. And now I should be able to mount the block here, another block maybe here, and then just a board running across, and it should be quite, I can tuck it quite close to here now. The way I figured out how to mount this is I'm going to put the wood like this, so it's nice and level, and on this side there are a few holes in the metal already, like here, 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 and then I should be able to put a flat bar across, and maybe put some washers with this board to prop it to the right height, and that should be nice and level. Then I can mount the base to that nice level part. The screws that I'll be using are these whole wood screws. You know, the proper bolt ones, then they can go into the wood properly and tighten everything up. So that should make a nice strong base for this. So what I'm doing for this side is I've got a 2x4, same size as the one that from before, but I've just trimmed the end off of it now so it's a bit shorter, and I'm going to screw it in here, here and here, and it should make it flat with the other side on the back. When I put the board across, I just checked it with the level and it is flat, so let's put this in. So I have cut the piece of wood that goes onto the thing, and as you see on the spirit level, it's saying it's, and this bar here is level, which means the chair's level at the moment. But if I put the spirit level on here, and then if I put it on here with these washers, it's coming up to close enough level, because before it was coming up really low and it was like crooked like that, which was quite a bit of an issue. So using these washers will have to do. So I'm using 3 sets of 3, and then I'm going to drill a temporary little hole into each one as a pilot hole, and then I'm going to put the proper thing in itself and into each one, just to guide when I put the bolt in properly, the threaded, you know, the wood bolt I showed earlier, into each one of these, and then that should hold it all in together, and this should distribute the load into this plank where I'm going to mount everything into. And as you see, I've quickly put the base on, like this. It hasn't been bolted in, but I've marked out exactly where the holes are going to be. So, just so if you want to copy the style, because you know the back part's thicker, I'm moving the base a little bit more forwards than usual. So usually it would be about here, but I'm moving it slightly more forward because, well, my weight's not going to be further back, it's going to be a bit more forwards because of the backrest. And if it's like that, and I might tweak it a little bit and move it back or something, but I think I might stay with it here, as this seems like the most reasonable spot, as there's a lot of overhang still from this side. I'm going to basically drill these holes out on here and probably put bolts in them with like a bolt at the other end as well, just so then I can at least remove these as well, so I can remove the stand just in case I need to access it or carry it around somewhere. To go in those holes, I got these, which, you know, remember that roll bar I bought like a while back and installed, linked to that in the corner up here, and these were, because that was a used roll bar, it came with the original bolts, which I didn't use, and so I'm going to be using these for something, as if you have a look here, put those through, look, they fit perfectly, so like another one on this side. I'll just find that, there's the hole, there, pop it through like that, and then get your chair, got one but not the other, no, it's really hard doing this one-handedly, and now we've got like studs, so we can just get the nuts that came with it here, as well, and we can just thread these on. This is it, finally done. It looks really good. So what it is just literally on a swivel base from IKEA, and as you can tell, it seems to sit really well. It's even sitting level, so it doesn't seem to, like, you know, when it starts spinning by itself around. So it's perfectly distributed with like that, and it's really now it's got a bit of a spin to it, and like, yeah, pattern's really nice. It's really soft, and you can do this to it. There we go. You can even have a nap on it. And just put that back. The only flaw I would say with this is the height, as you're seeing this now on the lowest height. So where's the adjuster? If I prop it to the highest, it's a monster. It's so high that, you know, those standing desks, it'll be a sitting desk with this. If you sit on it and everything, it's really good and strong, because the wood I've used, this is a 20mm piece with a 2x4 on either side. So yeah, it's pretty strong and everything, so it's not going to break, and all the bolts are good and all tightened up. So that's it for this video. So that's how you make one of these custom, basically, chairs. If you really want to, like, subscribe. If you want, leave a comment on if you have any questions on how to do this, and I'll reply to all of them. And yeah, see you in the next one. Take care.
Everything is like a test. I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby,